listeners, if you like this, please hit subscribe and follow our channel, because Sue answers questions that a lot of us have. So Sue, this past week, I posted an image where it said autism awareness, and awareness was crossed out, and I put acceptance with the gold infinity symbol. So from the autistic perspective, where are you at with preferring using the word acceptance in April versus awareness?
I think it's pretty tough when 1 in 36 children are being diagnosed in the autism spectrum, that people are already aware of autism because they know someone close enough, friends, family, that have an autistic individual. But being aware of them is not the same as being able to accept them for who they are, rather than wanting for and from them to be like everyone else. And that's the typical perception, is that why wouldn't you want to fit in and to be like everyone else? But when you know you aren't and can't do it without tremendous amount of stress, that puts an awful lot of pressure on the autistic individual to try to fit in. And that's what I did my whole life. And I suffered from post-traumatic stress, or chronic traumatic stress, I should say. All kinds of depression, anxiety, emotional issues related to thinking I had no choice but to learn how to fit in. And now that I understand who I am and how my brain works, I'm excited to be the person I really am, and I know myself to be, and what I can do. And I'm well aware of the fact there's certain things I can't do, which is why I gather, like most people do, friends and family members that I can relate to, that help me and support me in areas that maybe aren't my strengths. But then I've got my strengths that I can use to help and support them. So the thing is, how can you accept what you don't understand? And that's why my approach to understanding how the autistic brain works differently than yours, is a key to being able to understand how to better relate to that individual. Not from your perspective, but from perspective taking of looking at things from their perspective. And when you do that, as soon as I had someone take an interest in me and my perspective, I immediately wanted to know their perspective. I was curious. But until that time, all I was doing is living in survival mode. And so, of course, I wasn't interested in learning anything about anyone else, because I knew I couldn't achieve what they wanted for and from me.
I see that with my clients too. And I would definitely agree, with 1 in 36 individuals being identified. I do think the awareness is out there. I know some people might say in lower socioeconomic status families, maybe there isn't as much awareness, but you know, there are characters in TV shows now that are autistic, even though the actor might not be autistic. But between that and, like you said, just knowing someone, I do think the awareness is there. But you're right, the acceptance isn't. They think of Rain Man, they think of behaviors, they think of the child who is tantruming or being aggressive. And so to have such a negative association, I think that is why acceptance is so much more important. And like you said, understanding their perspective. When I work with my clients and ask them their perspective, I get a whole different connection with them during those sessions. And it really makes a huge difference for sure. So I appreciate you sharing your input. And if you're listening and you like the information we have to share, please hit subscribe.